I haven't had such conflicting opinions regarding a film in years, but I should not have expected any less from Lijo Jose Pellissery. Malaikottai Vaaliban has split the Malayalam audience right in the middle. Either people are absolutely raving about it or hating it with a passion. Mohanlal and his stint at the movies has been quite abysmal in the last few years. It is only the collaborations with Jeetu Joseph that have really extracted some of the most compelling storylines and character portrayals from the legend. In preparation for this LJP directorial, I saw Nehru on Disney Plus Hotstar and was in awe of the tight screenplay and the performance of the actor as a has-been lawyer coming face to face with his arch rival in a sensitive yet convoluted case. If there was one collaboration, however, that I was looking forward to the most, that seemed like the light at the end of the tunnel, it was Mohanlal joining hands with Lijo Jose Pellissery, knowing very well that it is probably going to be the most unique and original project in the Malayalam film industry this year. The wild brainchild of Lijo was certain to never conform to the star presence of the lead actor, something that he did with flying colours with Mammootty and Nanpakal Neratho Mayakam. And oh boy, is this movie, for the lack of a better term, the weirdest film I have seen in years. Let me explain. Malaikottai Vaaliban is set in a fictional world and timeline where a mighty wrestler goes from village to village challenging the most brave and capable wrestlers. This nomadic lifestyle fans Malaikottai Vaaliban going toe to toe with the most towering and intimidating figures, and the film becomes a commentary about the transitory nature of his life as he has met with several familial and philosophical complications along this journey. The film is so unique in its treatment that I can't really pinpoint at something to prepare you for this film. Think of it as a Clint Eastwood western with the sensibilities of Gladiator and the comedic treatment of Double Barrel. That's the best way I can describe this wacky, odd, interesting and sometimes frustrating Malayalam film. I was immediately in awe of the frames of this movie, executed by DOP Madhu Nilakanthan. The one thing that you cannot fault Malaikottai Vaaliban is for its technical treatment. The expansive shots of nature are reflective of a Kurosawa film. The organized chaos in which Lijo Jose Pellissery thrives is celebrated in full glory in the concluding moments of the movie, as the film transitions to almost become a Shakespearean tragedy. The brilliance of the frames also arises from the natural landscape in which most of the film has been shot, barely having the presence of VFX shots beyond the strokes of thunder. The production design and costumes are to marvel at. For the fictional time period in which the film is set, you often wonder whether this is just set in the early years of British occupied India or just La La Land, all the physical manifestation of Lijo's wild mind at play. Tinu, one of the assistant directors of the film, is getting dragged online for his interviews as he really promised that Mohanlal's entry in the film is going to create euphoria in theatres, but it was definitely far from the truth. This is, however, the last expectation I had from a Lijo movie, because that's essentially not him. A mass treatment of a hero is something that he has always strayed away from, even with a star like Mammootty. The expectation of Malaikottai Vaaliban was never of a mass commercial film, but a folktale of a never-ending and hollow journey of a man who has conquered everything yet feels empty from within. The problem is that while the movie is technically exceptional in several departments, it is the writing and the emotional distance with the characters that the film falters at. One has to realize that the film has some of the most compelling ideas, from deceit, revenge, conspiracy, heartbreak, jealousy, all wrapped in a tale of a wrestler's nomadic lifestyle. But you never feel an emotional connection to the several relationships shared with the principal character. Other than the dynamic that Mohanlal shares with his younger brother played by Manoj Moses, there is a lack of depth in the relationships he shares with others, including the characters played by Sonali Kulkarni and his father figure character played by Harish Pereddi. But what's interesting is, you wonder, was this the intention of Lijo to represent the relationships as an extension of the protagonist's lifestyle, transitory and fickle? The reason why the film has developed such polarizing reactions is due to the conflicting tonality that shifts from artistic brilliance to a whole bunch of nothingness in portions. The film strays away from the bloodshed and violence we are used to seeing in most commercial action films, and while the action choreography of the battles is inventive, it borders on being comical in some portions. There is an appreciation for the sheer flexibility that Mohanlal showcases at the age of 63, but the underwhelming score that never humor reaches a crescendo, and the staging of the scenes that have too many cuts take away from the appreciation I had of Mohanlal, almost becoming a trapeze artist through most of these portions, as he throws his opponents in thin air with ease. At one point of time, the characters he is up against are introduced like the boxers of Sarpata Parambarai, almost like the select lobby of Street Fighter, but the inventiveness of these introductions does not wholly reflect on the action choreography. That's the weirdest part. The film in quick succession has the seriousness of an epic but futile journey of a wrestler, but also the tonality of an absurdist comedy, something that is tough for the mass audience to imbibe and celebrate wholeheartedly. You will have frames showcasing prisoners who are kept in solitary confinement by an oppressive monarch, their only hope being that the protagonist is going to free them from these oppressive shackles, only for the movie to transition to become an homage to Sholay as a dance number commences and the monarch gets jiggy with it. Straight out of a fever dream, the film has the capability to make you feel you are visiting the sets of Gladiator and then Quick Gun Murugan in quick succession. There are definitely moments of brilliance that are extracted out of the most absurd ideas, like the character played by Danish Seth, a manic, obsessive figure who dedicates his life to ruining the aura of Malaikottai Vaaliban. His shrill laughter and unhinged violence as a creative choice added an interesting layer to the film, almost taking the shape of the hunchback from 300, wholly dedicating his life to the downfall of the protagonist. This is where the frustration sets in as a viewer. You acknowledge these brilliant ideas, you are in awe of the last act conceptually. It's marvelous from a visual standpoint, but the journey along the way with these characters gave us little to care about their outcome. The film excels in form, but lacks the emotional connection you crave for the characters in front of you. I have so much respect for Mohanlal and Lijo Jose Pellissery still going out on the limb to create what they wholeheartedly believed in, rather than wanting to conform on what the masses would have loved. I'm sure this film will grow on viewers, on how there will be several analysis videos breaking down the commentary Lijo was going for. But as it stands today, it really has to be one of the most polarizing films I have experienced in years. It is important to acknowledge that the creator we sing praises for, with his wackiest plot devices, probably spread himself too thin with the ideas for this film, especially when you are witness to the climax and what they intend to do with the future of Malaikottai Vaaliban. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.